Welcome to Engine Adventures off-road review of this 2020 Mercedes GLB 4MATIC. This is a front-wheel drive bias vehicle. If you get the all-wheel drive, the 4MATIC all-wheel drive, then it still is front-wheel drive biased, but it does include that all-wheel drive system, which is actually a really good all-wheel drive. So it is a dual clutch automatic, which that sometimes is a hindrance off-road. Those clutches slip a bit when you're trying to crawl, go slow, and can start to overheat. But Mercedes has done a pretty good job with this, as we'll see in a little bit. We'll jump into it and get going on the review. This is a 2-liter inline 4. It's got an electric system that helps get it boost at low RPM, so a supercharger that's electric, and then as you get into higher RPM, it has a turbo. So there's very little turbo lag, felt turbo lag I should say, because of that extra electric boost. Kind of a cool feature. Obviously not a lot of wheel travel. The shocks are adjustable dampers, and they have various settings. There is an off-road mode in this one, with it being a sports car. Very flat bottom, not a ton of protection, as this is all plastic, but should be fairly capable off-road. We'll see what we can do with it. Comfort mode.
The first thing we noticed here is how quickly the all-wheel drive system responds. It was already engaged before there was any wheel slip. And then the other thing to notice, in comfort mode, there's a lot of wheel spin and it's just not transferring the power where it needs to be. I gave up on this hill before getting too much heat into the transmission or the system overall. In sport mode, we see that there's a lot more braking on the wheels that are losing traction, so power is transferred a lot smoother and a lot better to the wheels that do have traction, and it's actually able to make this with minimal effort. In eco mode, you can see once again there's a lot of wheel spin and a lot of effort goes into it. I even believe I go full throttle here for a second, hoping it's going to make it, and it just is struggling too much to make this climb. The final mode we're testing here is the off-road mode, and it has the least amount of wheel spin. Look how quickly it's braking that wheel that's in the air. And it does require more throttle, but because of the braking on the wheels without traction, it's able to make this climb much more controlled than any of the other modes and a little bit smoother. Here we are again in comfort mode, this time on the steep hill climb. And this section isn't particularly steep, and I was actually a little surprised that I got stuck here and wasn't able to make it out in comfort mode. I decided just to switch to the different modes and stay in this same spot to see if I could make it out of this hole. So here we are now in sport mode, and again, I'm just not able to make it out of this hole. Moving on to the next one is eco mode, and we see really similar results that we had with comfort mode, and again just kind of stuck in this hole. Ultimately I do have to back down, but I just wanted to try it, see if I could get out of the hole in all the different modes. Here I back down, switched it over to off-road mode, and I'm going to try and carry just the smallest amount of momentum into this, and you'll see once again this hole stops me, but you don't hear any wheel spin. So there you heard the blow-off valve after the turbo let off, but there was no wheel spin during that section. The off-road mode was controlling the wheels so much that didn't allow those wheels to spin at all. So the next attempt is to carry momentum all the way up the hill, take the easy line, and I nearly make it. This vehicle can definitely make it on the easy line, but for some reason on this attempt, the car shut off on me before I was able to finish the climb.
System gave up on me. Let's show you if we can. Hopefully it's still up. Otherwise, I'll put the picture up on the screen. All right, so here we are. Active brake assist function limited. See the operator's manual. And then all the lights on. I got the Christmas tree effect going. So it does show the percent grade on this one instead of the angle. So we're just gonna shut it off. Restart it. All the lights cleared. And sorry to say, but we're giving up on this hill. So let's move on to a little bit of the higher speed off-road driving and call it. All right, for higher speed off-road driving, this thing obviously doesn't perform super well. That's not what it's for. I mean, it does pretty good. On the normal route, we can do, well, we have to slow down for all the big bumps down to below 10 miles an hour. But for the rest of it, we can do all right with speeds. And of course, it's very stable, just like it is on road. So if you're on a gravel road like this section right here, very well maintained, you can drive fast, no problem. It stays stable, it's very predictable. But as you get into those bigger bumps, it's a little bit unsettling. It bottoms out. I didn't really bottom out the suspension because I was too nervous about the low body work. So didn't really ever bottom it out, but I did have to slow down a lot to be able to get it through even, you know, a mild off-road, dirt road section. So I'm in comfort mode, and this car does pretty well. So this is the GLB, of course, and it does not have the air suspension, but it does have adjustable shocks, the damping on the shocks. And as you go through the different drive modes, you can see over on this side, sport, comfort, whatever it may be, off-road modes, there's eco mode. So for the top one's the engine throttle response, then your shocks, then your steering, and then the electronic stability control. So anyway, it has some varying settings there. And it's front-wheel drive biased or based or whatever, even though it is all-wheel drive. And this handles really well for being set up that way. I think it's more of a full-time all-wheel drive system. If you get the one that's 4MATIC, this one is the 4MATIC all-wheel drive. And it cruises really well on the freeway, it's no problem. And the bumps are actually pretty smooth, but as we talked about in the Lexus ES sedan, it's also front-wheel drive. There are big bumps that upset most front-wheel drive vehicles, and they will upset this one a little bit. You'll get the thud, you know, kind of a harder hit from the front end in this than you will in the Lexus ES. So the ES just seems to soak them up so well for a front-wheel drive vehicle, and as most other front-wheel drive vehicles struggle with that a little bit. This one, you can see the interior lighting a little bit, and it changes. You can change it however you want, but with the themes and stuff, it will change. And it has different themes as well. The cameras aren't on. This is the adventure mode. The cameras aren't on in the adventure mode because we're going too fast, but normally we'd put up the camera system there. But anyway, there are a bunch of different drive modes and themes. So this is kind of the sporty one. Everything turns yellow. There are settings where this color will be different than these vent colors. This one's just kind of a fun one to tell you what's going on with the vehicle. All right, do a quick 0 to 60 here.
Keep in mind I didn't brake torque it, and we are going uphill, so the number's going to be lower than the manufacturer's number.
And 60. I have the navigation set up, and you saw it there. So it pops up the front camera, and then as you get closer to the intersection, it'll put up a blue arrow saying you need to turn here. In this case, I need to turn right. You can see the arrow there on the screen showing me exactly which road I need to be on, and that can be helpful. There are some navigation systems, you get two roads close together, it's not super clear which one you should be on. This helps clarify all that.
Thanks for watching Engine Adventures review of the 2020 Mercedes GLB 250. If you liked what you saw, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications, and if you give me a thumbs down, be sure to comment down below and let me know why. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.